Stormy over there. Storm cloud to brewing. I just got stuck on a YouTube channel like I do sometimes, and it was one of these. He's not an auditor. He's just a guy that goes around and he films towns and stuff. Have a good day, man. And he's just to kind of flex rights. I mean, it's important to have guys like that do that, because a lot of people don't understand the whole filming thing. And what he does is he goes into a town with his son, like a small town, and he just films the streets and films the buildings. And so many people don't understand the rules or laws or whatever when it comes to filming people. Everyone thinks you need to get like some kind of signed waiver or something, like for everyone in the fucking street. When you leave your home and you're out in public, there is no expectation of privacy. And on top of that, there are cameras everywhere filming you. And I do have that happen. You know, I talked about it here. People that get annoyed. They think I'm filming them, and, you know, I get yelled at and shit before. But with me, I'm always kind of moving. Unless I'm in here or up in the back cave, I'm always moving. So they usually don't have time. They would like to complain, a lot of them, and cause a big issue, but they don't have time. But it's just funny to his channel's got hundreds of videos on it, and just so many people just don't understand how that works, or how it's allowed to work. You know, when you're on public property, when you're on the sidewalk, you can film anything you want, you know. And all these people that were in storefronts, you know, would come out and try to say, you can't film the store, you can't film our windows, or, you know, we have customers in there. It's so funny. And a lot of these people are like, the security guards sometimes at these places will come out real heavy, you know, and try to tell them what's what. There was one guy who was just so, he didn't like the fact that he wouldn't do what he told him, so he just kept being an asshole, like arguing with them and standing around. His manager comes out and starts trying to explain to him, like, you can't, you know, they're allowed to do this, it's legal to do this, you know. And he starts arguing with his manager. It's just funny, you know. You can always tell, right? You can always tell when you see the people if they're going to be a problem or not when it comes to this kind of thing. There was this one older woman that was got real upset at him. The reasons they get upset are numerous, you know, and they're always retarded. It's this mix of Karen types who are just trying to help you. You know, like the masked people that would tell me to make sure it's over my nose because I'm just worried about your health, bro. You know, those kind of people. And there's stupid people, too. And there's the narcissists. They're all out there, you know. They are 100% sure you're filming them. It's so funny. Like, when I walk around, I try to avoid people. You know, I go out of my way to pan away from faces and stuff. If I go into a store, or if I'm coming into a line, like a queue outside a restaurant or something, I always put the camera down, just because I don't want to have any problems, you know. And I don't ever aim at people's faces, but it's the people that get mad are usually the ones that I didn't even know they're out there. You know, some homeless people get real upset. I had this guy freak out on me one day, and they just don't understand. Like, you can film anywhere you want. You know, it's legal as long as you're on the sidewalk, public space. Hawaii gets a little tricky though, because what they did here, which was pretty shocking to me when I learned all this, is some of the stores, they sold the sidewalk to these stores. So they own, and it's public, it was public, so they can enforce the rules, whatever rules they want on that sidewalk, like that place, International Marketplace I go into all the time. You can't have people selling things or standing around or doing whatever because they own that sidewalk. Now, it's bullshit, of course. You can't sell someone a piece of sidewalk, but I talked about Hawaii here and the corruption and stuff and the way they sort of, they don't really follow any federal law that they don't like. They follow the ones that help them and just disregard the ones that don't, as if it's a different country. So it's not just International Marketplace. There's many places there that they've sold the sidewalks to that business. I was shocked when I first started hearing about this, because it's federal property, or supposed to be, but they don't feel like they're part, or they don't recognize America, like I said, unless it's something that benefits them. And so I mean, it becomes private property at that point. And that's kind of fucked up, because I'll be walking down the sidewalk, right? You don't know, you're walking down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden you're on someone's private property because they sold them the sidewalk in front of their fucking store. Crazy. And then what do? You argue with someone about that? I've had, in one of these places, they were freaking out because I was smoking, but I was walking by, and there's this girl like, "You have to put that out, sir." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I keep walking. She goes, "No, you have to put that out, sir." Now, I'm walking through, right? I'm just going, I'm not stopping. And she's chasing me down the sidewalk to try to get me to put my cigarette out, because there's no smoking on their property. And since they own the sidewalk now, that's their property. But I'm leaving. I'm walking through. I'm moving. I'm never stopping. And you give some people a little bit of power, or not even power, a little responsibility. It's the mall cop syndrome. Like I had a problem with one of the ambassadors here about me filming. Ambassadors are the guys that like wear the bright yellow vests, and what they're supposed to do is they help tourists. They answer questions, maybe give them directions, and they do work with the police in the sense that if they see something, they just pass on the information. So you get occasionally, those fantasy cop people who want to be a cop. And I was having this problem with one of them. This guy, I used to say hi to him all the time. He was cool until he noticed me filming all the time. And he would always ask me, like, "What are you doing, man?" And I'm like, "Oh, just filming." And I'd just keep walking because I'm always moving. But then he'd go out of his way to kind of get near me to ask me about it. So what is this for? I'm like, "What? You're filming. What are you filming for?" I'm like, "Oh, I got a YouTube channel," I told him. And so slowly he was getting more information out of me every time I walked by him. And I don't have to tell him fucking anything, but he's got it in his head because he's misinformed like a lot of these other people on this guy's channel. And, he wants to be or either want to be cop. I'm guessing either that or some of those ambassadors too are jailbirds. Like they get a job there at the state out of OCCC. And they're paranoid about being on camera, but he'll be complaining about it while he's standing in front of a stoplight that has like cameras on him. So I'd always avoid him, and then one day I'm sitting in front of the longs. I'm not filming, don't have my camera out. I'm looking at I don't even know if I have my phone out. I think it's going through my stuff. Might have even had it in my pocket, and he comes walking up to me doing this exaggerated, like turning the old sort of camera, you know how they used to do that? He's rolling that, he's getting near me, and he's like, now you're on film. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, all right, man, you know. So finally one day, you know, he sees me coming, and he gets all a smirk on his face. And I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking talk this out with him now, because I'm tired of this bullshit. And he's like, well, why are you doing this? I'm like, oh, I got a YouTube channel. I told him again. And I just post videos. But videos of what? Like, there's nothing here. You're just filming this building? Like, why? And I just kind of snapped. I'm like, dude, this is legal. I can do this. I'm not filming you. And he's like, oh, no, I know it's legal. I'm like, you know, he starts doing that. And I'm like, look, here's how we're going to do it. When you see me, you look the other way. And when I see you, I'll look the other way. And we'll just avoid each other from now on. Oh, no, it's just saying, it's like, that's where it's at, you know. But it's another one of these people that don't understand. He's probably like, oh, this guy walking around my neighborhood filming. Meanwhile, this is a tourist area, right? So you're going to tell all these people from Asia that they're from Asia. Well, Japan, Korea, and stuff, they're here on vacation, that they can't be filming. You know, I see plenty of like people walking around doing like those Instagram type videos where they got the pole, or for TikTok or whatever it is. And there's tons of people like that here. I live right in the middle of a tourist area. 10 million people a year come through this neighborhood. And a lot of them are filming and taking pictures because they're on vacation. So it just always kind of bugged me that he would always point that out to me and talk about it. And like, every time I walk near him, you still filming, huh? I don't understand that. Like that. Like, he's just mad you didn't want me filming. Other people get like that too. There are people though that think you have to get a waiver from everyone in the street to take their pictures. Retarded. When you're out in public, you can film or photograph any fucking thing you want, and people can cheat and cope all the fuck they want. Now, I'd make exceptions for certain cases, like, you know, I wouldn't do anything stupid. I mean, respectful. I'm not going to do like some of these other Waikiki walk guys. Like, there's other channels on YouTube that I call like Walk Waikiki, or kind of close to what mine's called. But what they do is they walk around with what I assume is a hidden camera, and they don't say anything, just silent, and they walk around like filming girls. Like, there'll be girls on the beach bending over or something, they film it, you know, and you don't know how old some of these girls are. And you know, you can find them on YouTube. They're out there, and it's just so creepy because he doesn't say anything, and you know the camera's hidden because he can get real up close to people and no one looks at him. You know, like if you look at my videos when I'm walking and you see people walking by me, if you slowed it down, you'll notice that three quarters of the people walking around me are looking at me, you know, because they just notice I'm doing something, you know. But no one does that with him, and it's because it's hidden, you know. He's got a hidden camera going on, and then just walking around taking pictures of fucking girls. It's creepy. It's creepy shit. I'm not doing that, you know. And I don't give a fuck about the people around me. I'm usually on a subject, I'm talking about something. A lot of people that talk about the kind of stuff I talk about sit in a room and put some fucking crystals behind them or something and just stare at you, and unless it's a pretty girl, nah, I don't like it. That is boring, you know. And sometimes I get bored too. Like, I'll try to listen to some guys that sound interesting, and some people don't even put graphics on the screen or anything. They just sit there and talk. You know, a lot of Christianity channels do this too, and it's just like, oh man. So with me, it's like, I think, you know, when I'm talking about some of this stuff, it's more exciting to just walk around and see the streets as I walk. So it doubles as a tour type situation. I'm saying the same stuff. I mean, it presents challenges because if I was in a room talking, I bet I would make my points a lot better, and the quality of the presentation would probably be much better. But it's a nice practice, you know, after doing this for 3 years. I think when I do something like that, and I eventually will, you know, I was talking to Nia about turning the room into like a kind of place like that, almost set it up like a podcast thing, kind of like how they have the, you know, the same thing everyone has, just to try something like that, to do a more showy type thing and have like a subjects there, and be online so I could research stuff, because that's all my stuff is. If I pick a subject and then talk about it, which I usually pick out the subject after it's filmed, a lot of times I'm, you know, I don't have everything in front of me. I'm just kind of grasping for things sometimes, and sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. But yeah, I'd like to do that. But I think running around trying to dodge people is it's good practice for that. It's when I do finally decide to talk into the camera. You know, that's just so boring though. I don't know. I'll do this for another few more years before I try doing something like that. Not going anywhere. We're all going somewhere though. We're getting out of here. Eventually we're getting out of here. Till next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.